All right, folks, welcome back to the channel here. It is Monday, I believe May 22nd. About 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's only 90 degrees out here. And I started on this trunk of the 60. So where we last left off was I got the shell of the 60 pretty much up to 180. And I'm gonna kind of leave it like that. It's in 180, it's in epoxy. So everything's locked down. So I want to get all the other panels up to speed. That way I can put them back on the car and then block the gaps. So this is the trunk. This is an original trunk. And upon first glance, it looks pretty good. It's got a little bit of action right here. It's got something funky going on right here, which is weird. Until you put a block on it. Right now I just used a Durablock and 80 grit. Took me about 2 minutes to see what we're working with. And man, as you can see, nice little high spot. Lows, 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 waves. And it's got the same thing going on this side that it does on the other side at the exact same spot. So to my knowledge, this was original paint when we stripped it a few videos back. We stripped the top and the bottom. So it's been locked in epoxy 3 coats. It's been sitting for probably about a month. So what I'm gonna do now is it's gonna need some filler. I'm gonna start on this section right here. Give it a spread with the honey, the plastic honey, so it thins it out a little bit, because it's not that bad. It's just slight waves, slight dips. In fact, I could probably show you right here. Get my bucket of stuff. Not bad. Not bad. This one, this crown is too big for that little foot long stick. As you see, not bad. So what I'm gonna do is mix up some of that Ultra with some honey and do a good spread along this side. Bring you guys back once I get some more work in. All right, it is Saturday, May 27, I believe. Let me see, 27. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and kind of took some time off from this thing. Been kind of under the weather, just now getting over it. Probably can hear in my voice, but I've been starting body work on this trunk. So far I've got the edges done. They're blocked down with 80 grit. Here, got these parts pretty much fixed that were rippled. All the section right here is pretty good. The main area of concern is this whole back area. It seems like the whole thing is low. So I think it's going to take a whole skim of this whole area right here. So that's what I plan to do today. I would like to get this thing back in epoxy today. That means the filler work should be done. I got all day to do it. So let me get started. I'll bring you guys back once I get some work in. All right. It is Memorial Day, Monday, 2023. And it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm still under the weather, as you can hear in my voice. But this car ain't gonna build itself, so I'm out here. And so far what I've gotten this trunk in, I went to go record some of the earlier processes, but the camera was dead, so I didn't want to wait. So basically what I did, just to recap, this thing has been stripped to bare metal, all the old original lacquer paint. It needed a lot of body work up across the top for some reason. I don't know why, but I did that. And then I got it in epoxy, 3 coats. And then just this morning, I sanded it down with 180 guide coat twice. And I did have to do a little bit of skim, excuse me, here. And a little bit here. And then just some spot putty on some deep scratches, because on the filler, I used some 40 grit to knock it down quickly. And it left some remnants of some scratches. So just some little spot putty here and there. But I'm gonna re-epoxy this today. So right now that's in 180. We got the driver's side door over here where we last left off last video.
was bare metal and epoxy. This door is in really good shape. It's got dent here, dinger there. Really, that's about it, man. A little bit here. This is going to be really easy. So I want to go ahead and get both of these pieces knocked out today. I'm going to block this down to 180 and re-epoxy both of them today. So we're moving right along. It's Memorial Day. Hope you guys are enjoying the holiday. If you're not out there paying respect, you should be out in the garage working on the ride. So, like I say, this stuff has been in epoxy. The door has been in epoxy probably, probably at least 2 weeks or so. So it's well cured. So, enough yakking. Let's get to work. All right, so what you guys saw me do right now is just a couple dents, not all of them. I mean, I still got to do a skim down here, but I'm not going to record all that because this camera starts to get hot and then it wants to shut off and all kind of stuff. So I think we're pushing 12 minutes. So what I did was I blocked it real quick with 180 just to see what we got. It's pretty good. All this is going to block down easy. Found a couple little dingers. This one might need a little more spread. I can still see a little bit. And then I went and I scratched up the dent with 80 grit, and then I guide coated it. And then I blocked it over the dent with 180. So all that remained was 80 grit scratches in the low spot, because you need something for this rage to adhere to, because this epoxy is out of the window, out of the 7-day open window. So scuff it up with 80, guide coat it, block it with 180. So all your area is at 180 and inside your dinger is 80. Skimmed it real easy. I mixed the rage with the plastic honey to thin it out because they're real shallow dents. And then I cleaned the blade or the spreader with some lacquer thinner. So you can get a lot of use out of one spreader. I usually use maybe 2 per day, or whatever. But I buy these by the 100, so I always have them, but I like to use them as long as possible. And that's the gist of it, man. So I'm gonna put the camera down and get this all prepped up, ready for some epoxy. It's gonna need, tapped it down a little bit. It's weird because this was original paint, so you can see that it's not exactly, show quality straight from the factory. But other than that, it's a really good door. There was zero rust. We did zero rust repair on this. So put the camera down and I'll bring this thing up to speed. I'd like to get all the filler work done, blocked to 180 and ready for epoxy with the trunk today. So I'm gonna bring you guys back once I get that done. All right. So this door is pretty much where I want it to be. As previously shown, it just had a couple little dingers and some ripples along the bottom, I guess from the stamping process perhaps. So all I did was a skim coat across the whole bottom and feathered it out with 180, and I think we'll be okay. This one blocked down real nice. Everything else blocked down real nice. a little bit of a high here, but I'm not going to mess with that because I have spotlights for the car and I'm not sure where they're going to go. So this is just the primary stages here. Still want to put the doors on and block it with the doors on. So trunk, the whole thing is in 180 as previously shown. Gonna get straight to it. I mixed up about 20 ounces of epoxy and I'm gonna be using this Vevor gun that I bought. A lot of channels on YouTube are praising this gun. I bought it about 2 weeks ago and I've used it once, and it's my go-to gun for epoxy. Not for sealer though, not for sealer. I think it hoses it on too much. It's basically a solid knockoff. And I'm used to the Iwata a little bit slower, so it's a great epoxy gun for me. I know it comes with 2 tips. This one came with a 1.7 and a 1.3, I believe. And I ditched the cup. Last time I did use the cup, I didn't like the cup. I don't like the lid set up on it, so I'm gonna be using disposable. But yeah, so far, all these panels for this entire car are just in filler and epoxy. I haven't used any type of high build yet, which is good. I don't know that I'm going to use high build. I might just use feather fill and more epoxy. So we'll see. So let me get you guys set up here and we'll start spraying. As you can see, the gun acted like it ran out of paint, but it didn't. It must have been the way the gun was tilted. But I mixed up 23 ounces or 22 ounces, and I had 9 left, so that's not quite enough for a second coat. So we're gonna go ahead and mix up enough for a second coat. Running kind of low. I got 2 more quarts in the house. But this solder definitely hoses it on big time, which is good and bad. It's turn the fan off here. It's good because you can build this SPI epoxy. It's bad because if you put it on too heavy, the first coat it'll crater on you, which is kind of what it almost wanted to do. This area, you can see it looks real bubbly, like crater. Had 2 bugs land, and I was able to get them out, sorta. That's why I like to spray with things hanging up. Like if I was actually painting this, I would spray it with it hanging up, because that wouldn't happen. And with the clear you're left with a mess when you have 2 or 3 bugs land, but second coat will cover that. So what I did first was I kind of went over all the filler areas first and the bare metal. So those kind of got 2 coats right now. So we're gonna give everything one more coat here in about half an hour. And then, and then we'll be ready to roll. So I'll bring you guys back here once I get ready to spray second coat.
like the way that people in there real good.
All right, so here we are, two coats of epoxy later. The second one was pretty heavy, and I end up having like an ounce left, so mix it up pretty good. So now this thing can sit and bake. We still have a little remnants of a little fly that landed. Luckily, this is the first, not the first step, but an early step in the process. So this whole front section looks great. Actually, the whole thing looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I think I'm still gonna do polyester primer. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I get there. The door came out pretty good. No more dents. A little heavy right here. You can see where it wants to crater, so I got to get used to that gun for sure. That's why I kind of want to use it for the epoxy and not anything else, because I have a feeling if I use that for clear, I'll be hanging curtains. So next up is going to be the next door, the other door. So these things are pretty much caught up to speed with the rest of the shell. Everything is in 180, needing probably another round of 180 blocking. So I want to get everything up to pace. So next up is going to be the door, probably throughout the week here. So hope you guys enjoyed this little progress here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video off and start a new one on the door, on the other door. So y'all stay tuned for more work, and thanks for watching.